Guess that was ending. 1, 2, 3, hit it. Welcome to the Odyssey. I am Mike Odyssey.
Welcome to Mike Odyssey.
And we got news.
Everybody follow me.
Yeah. Welcome to the Odyssey. Hit the like, press play. You're running with the squad like Xenoblade. Drop like Mario, we on a new wave. Never slow down, winners don't need no breaks. Come on. Like a Pokemon trainer, from the nest to the meat. But it ain't gonna save you, do it for the gamers. All you gotta work.
Flying over all the competition
like Kirby.
Nintendo, you gon' get it in a hurry.
Yo.
Something new drop, I'll be on it bright and early. I'm going hard, don't know what else to tell ya. The missing link like I was looking for Zelda. Leave a comment so I know more about you.
Welcome to the Odyssey.
Well, that we out here. Odyssey.
Welcome to the Odyssey. Welcome to another live stream, evening live stream. It's about 5:29 p.m. Eastern time. Let me know what time is it where you guys are at. If you guys are watching from Central Pacific, Eastern, from UK, it is about, I would say, like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the UK, 10 o'clock maybe. But we are here because we have live news. We have live breaking news when it comes to the Nintendo Switch 2 and other stuff. So I am here with you guys live, trying to get you guys the latest and greatest news, along with some opinions about this latest news on Nintendo Switch 2. Now, with all lives, when it comes to news, I want to go ahead and start talking about the news right away at the beginning of the video for the benefit of all of those who are watching the live stream after it airs, right? So you don't have to kind of scroll through the live stream to find the news. We'll talk about it afterwards. Let's go over the news, right? And then after we go over this breaking news, this new leak regarding the Nintendo Switch 2, which has to do with the release date and a lot of other details inside this leak. Then we'll move over to the Q&A and to my input regarding this leak. Now we are going to be streaming. We're going to be streaming for about an hour and a half. Those are my limits when it comes to live streams. I can stream for about an hour. So I'll be streaming today, and will try to stream around this time most days, right? When it comes to news. So we'll have the morning video for the news, Odyssey news, right? We'll cover everything that's happening inside the world of Nintendo. I try to cover a little bit of everything. That way you guys get to know what's happening in your area, whether you like Pokemon, you like Zelda, Mario, whatever you like in the world of Nintendo. I try to cover a little bit of that so that way you guys are informed. And of course, trending topic is Switch 2. If there's no Switch 2 videos, then nobody watches. Apparently, YouTube doesn't push the videos as much because that's what's trending. And so in this live stream, we have a Switch 2 news and update that just leaked. Okay, information which is crazy that I want to go ahead and talk to you guys about. So welcome everybody in the stream. Welcome all watchers here. I appreciate you being here with me live. I hope you are live. You enjoyed the last stream from yesterday. And today we have another great one for you. So let's go ahead and jump straight into the news that we have for today, which has to do, again, with a new leak that surfaced with Nintendo Switch 2. I have here, you guys want to know my source? I go to mynintendonews.com. Sometimes I go to Nintendo Life. I stay away from Reddit, and I stay away from Family Boards, and I stay away from all those little areas there. And I try to stick to main already established Nintendo news websites. That way I make sure that I'm reporting something that's a little more credible and not just something that some random dude just said. And we have here Nintendo Switch 2 release date, okay? And of course, information about the pricing and the models. Now I'm going to go ahead and read this for you first, and then I'll tell you what I believe, if I think this to be credible or not, okay? So let's go ahead and get straight into the news here. Now we have here, let's read. Let me make the screen a little bigger. Let's see. So the text is like this big, right? By the way, Nintendo Switch 2 console will release in the last few months of 2024. That's not new. I've been saying that for a long time now. Nintendo Switch 2 will release in the second half of 2022. So basically, this leak kind of says that or confirms that, but it actually gives us a specific target date. Now, let's go ahead and read the main gist of the leak, which is in the title. Nintendo Switch 2 to release on September 24th. September 24th, 2024. Okay, so basically a year from now, a year in a couple of days, a year in a week from now, or 2 weeks from now. But September 24th, 2024. I'm giving you the leak right in front of the video. I'm not dancing around it or anything like that. I'm just giving you what it says. September 24th, 2024. That's the first part of the leak. The second part of the leak is that the Nintendo Switch will come in two models. Again, something that I've been talking to you guys. I've always stated that Nintendo will always give us two models of a main one and a cheaper one. And so here it claims that there are two models, but this leak has something different about it, different than what I've been reporting. And it's this, that the one of the models will be, I don't know why, I don't know why, because it doesn't make sense to me, you know. But let me tell you, one of the models is gonna be fully digital, and one of the models is gonna be with the cartridge. And now I understand, okay, I understand PlayStation and Xbox doing the physical versus the cartridge, or the physical versus disc one, because they have a full disc in there. They have disc, DVD, Blu-ray player inside their systems, like a full system in there, right? But the Nintendo Switch only has this tiny little cartridge, a little cartridge slot for the system. Why? If the cartridge slot is almost as big as the SD slot to add storage to it, why a digital and why a physical? Now I want to go more into that later, because that goes into my opinion. But basically, there you have it, guys. Those are the leaks. You guys heard it. Nintendo Switch 2 to release in on September 24th, 2024, and that they will have two models, which I think I'm not too sure about this. They'll have two models, one fully digital and one with the physical cartridge present. So if you want to play physical games, then you get the physical version. Oh, by the way, and there is a price, and that's where I also kind of knew. I'm not sure about this. The price, okay? The price. Let me see here. Sorry guys, I have to make the words a lot bigger now so that I can get this. Okay. So the price for the retail price for the physical version, the one with the ability to add little cartridges, just like the Nintendo Switch you have now, right? $499. $499. $500 for you to have the ability to add a little cartridge inside your Switch. And of course, the other model, $400. $400. One is $499, which is $500, and the all digital one is $399. And so basically, we have three pieces of information here. Number one, September 24th. Okay. The reason why I'm reporting this is because it was on my NintendoNews.com, and it's also on other credible websites. Okay, other credible websites. This is the only reason I'm reporting it. I don't report from Family Boards. I don't report from Blurpity Blurp, and you know, and Poopy Leaks, or whatever is out there. The only reason I'm reporting this is because it's on two credible websites that I actually follow, and so they give us three pieces of information here. First, the release date, September 24th, 2024. Second, that there will be two models. Okay, that's the second piece of information. Two models, a digital and a physical. And a third piece of information, the price for each model, $499 for the one for physical, and $399. Okay. And I can tell you one thing, and I can confirm you one thing, and one thing alone, and is that if this is true, this is going to be another Wii U. And I predict that from day one right here. If this turns out to be true, and Nintendo tries to play next gen crazy, then this is going to be another Wii U. It's going to be another Wii U. It's going to be another disaster, because nobody's going to pay. And I'm talking about families here, families with multiple kids, because the Switch is a handheld Switch where Nintendo wants people to buy multiple of them per family, right? And so that you can have a Switch, that person can have a Switch in the house. Like in my household, I have we have 4 Switches, because we have 4 Switches for one Switch for every person in the house, right? My daughters have Switch Lights, and I have my Switch, right? And I have an extra Switch my wife doesn't even play with it. But that's what the Nintendo is aiming for, because they're handheld consoles too. When you play on handheld and you're playing a game that's basically you need both Joy-Cons to play, let's say like a Pokemon,
game, right? You nobody else can play that game because it's a one-player game, right? And so Nintendo is aiming to sell this console to multiple people, multiple consoles per household, and $400 for the digital version, for the all digital version, meaning you cannot share your games, you know. And then if you want the ability, if you have multiple kids and a parent wants to buy a separate Nintendo Switch and buy just one cartridge for them both to share, which by the way you can if you have multiple kids in your household and you have, let's say, 2-3 Switches in the household, and you buy a Mario Wonder, let them have a turn playing with it. Take the cartridge out, here you can play this one while I play this one. You know, they can't, they won't be able to do that because they would have to pay $500. $500. I'm curious to see what you guys think about this. I'm very curious to see what you guys, I'm really curious. Yeah, Blue Moon says I will not pay $500 for a Nintendo system. I don't believe it. Yeah. Tronic says I don't believe it. Wonder if it's going to be as bad as the PS5 launch. Do you like some Smurf Cat? Smurf Cat? You mean like Azriel from the Smurf Cat? These are gonna be scalped. I agree. By the way, I heard about your blind eye. Hope you can still keep going. Thank you so much. We're working on it. We're working on it. Thank you so much for your support. Buying the card one. Yeah, it sounds like a bit of a guess from a Sony fan. Yeah, right. Harmad, you hit the mark. That's exactly what I thought when I saw this. But listen. No. I just don't see it. I don't see it. When it comes to the release date, that's just a shot in the dark, right? That's just like, oh yeah, second half of the year. Of course, second half of the year, Nintendo, will market second half of the year. All the evidence points to the next fiscal year, starting after March, not this fiscal year. This fiscal year ends in March 2024, and so after this fiscal year, Nintendo will launch the next gen console in the next fiscal year, which starts in March of 2024, right? That fiscal year starts then. So anytime in that fiscal year, Nintendo will launch the system. So of course you can say, yeah, it's gonna be in February, October, November. I normally see the announcement around April, May or June, right? And then I see the console being present at Gamescom. I see the console being present at different shows like that. And I see like an October release day, like maybe like a September to October release day, maybe that hopefully August, September, October. I'm making the bullseye extra big so I can say, hey, Mike was right. Those 5 months. Wow. Have you seen those people like, oh yeah, I predict that the Nintendo Switch is gonna come out in the next 12 to 18 months. I'm a leaker. I'm a leaker because I predicted that it's gonna be out in the next 12 to 18 months. I just made the bullseye bigger for myself so I know what I'm talking about. Because if it comes out in the next 12 to 18 months, that means that I'm legit. You should follow me. That's basically that's another leaker, by the way, that I did not report on because I thought it was just the most ridiculous thing ever. 12 to 18 months? Really? Okay. Yeah. I'm going to predict that the next Mario game is going to come out in the next year. From this point to the next year, we're going to have a Mario game. I'm a leaker. Yep. Confirmed. Yep. Mario, the Nintendo Switch, confirmed. Okay. And so it's just insane. What we hear about $500 for a system. $500 for a Nintendo system is never going to happen. Now, let me tell you my realistic expectation about how much of these Nintendo consoles will cost. I don't think there will be an all digital one. Okay, I honestly don't think there will be an all digital one. I think they are trying to make the dart as big as possible and shoot a dart and try to get the bullseye there, but they're not even close. I do think there's gonna be two models, and I do think that there might be a light one and also a regular one. Now, the light one has more potential of being all digital, and then the regular one has you know will be the physical one. But I just don't see Nintendo doing that. Nintendo is a family company when it comes to who they cater and who they want to sell to. Nintendo has their own. Nintendo has their target audience. Okay, and I don't know. Back in the day, in the GameCube era, Nintendo tried to go the power route, right? They tried to go the power route, and then PlayStation and Sony outpassed them, and Nintendo was behind until Nintendo started not competing with them anymore. Nintendo stopped competing with PlayStation and Xbox. They said, we don't have to compete with them in power. We don't have to compete with them in basically anything. Why? Because we have our first party games, because we have Mario, because we have Zelda, because we have Pokemon, because now we have Splatoon, because we have what's the other Kirby, because we have Metroid, because we have so many IPs that instead of competing and releasing a console that's powerful enough to compete with others, our focus should be just making good games. Our focus should be fun. Our focus should be experience. So that's why after the GameCube, Nintendo focused on experience and gave us. Do I have one? They gave us the Wii, and the Wii came with a different way of having fun, and that's when Nintendo stopped competing with other consoles, and that's when they started focusing on themselves, on the Nintendo Wii. And then when they started focusing on what they have and focusing on fun, what did they do? They got a really big seller here in the Nintendo, the Wii, right? With the Wiimote and the nunchuck and bowling Wii and bowling, all those games and everything. They were successful when they started focusing on their target audience. Now Nintendo knows that their target audience will pay up to $349 for a console. And that's where I believe it'll stay. I don't think that Nintendo will sell a console for more than $350. I think they might if they offer variations of a console in regards to space and to memory. For example, let's say one is 512 gigabytes of space, so you can install games, and then they offer one with 1 terabyte, right? With 1 terabyte of hard drive, so you can store more games. That's the only way I see Nintendo heading into the $399, $400 system. If you buy the one that has some more space on it. But Nintendo already has their target audience who will buy the Switch to Kingdom Come, and they will buy the next Nintendo console, and they have the 100 and something million accounts already that they want to protect with all of their hearts. They want to make sure that they keep these people happy, us happy. They want to make sure that we transition. And really, do you think Nintendo is gonna release a console for $499 and expect us to transition after? No. Yeah, I don't see Nintendo at all giving us a $500 system. So if you ask me, Tronic 307 says $399 to $449 tops. And you know what? I have to agree. I have to agree that maybe $449 for a terabyte of space. A terabyte of space would be a good amount, right? And then $399 for the base model, right? And so maybe $349 or $299 for the light version. So maybe that's the max, but $500. I just can't get my head around it. $500. Okay, well, you can buy 2 Nintendo Switches right now. You can buy two Nintendo Switches with $500 right now. That is just nuts. Nuts. 1 terabyte is not enough. Not enough. Well, I mean, they're gonna have 1 terabyte plus the expanded storage. So maybe you can get the 1 terabyte and then add more memory, add more space with the expanded SD card, right? SD card slot in there, right? So that is a leak, guys. I mean, I don't know how much I believe it. I'm gonna go ahead and yeah, it's definitely gonna stay in the rumorville, in the rumor side. Okay, definitely gonna stay in the rumor side. I don't believe a word of it. That's my personal opinion of this leak, is that I don't believe a word of it. We are dry on Nintendo news. You guys can tell there's a drought, just because everything has already been announced. This year is done when it comes to gaming announcements. Everything is done. We're just waiting for games to come out, right? There's no new news out there, and there's a Nintendo news drought. You know, views are low, subscribers are low on when it comes to Nintendo content. And when it comes to the news genre, it's dry. It's completely dry right now. And so little piece of information filter here, and you could see that that big websites and even ones that are credible, they pick it up right away. I think this, not to completely throw shade at this leaker, but I guess this leaker had some prior leaks that were correct. They had some prior leaks that were correct. And so to give them that benefit of the doubt, but when it comes to this information out there, I just don't see it. I personally don't see it. I don't see Nintendo working this way. And will Nintendo Switch 2 run at 60 frames? Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully we'll get 60 frames per second. You know that there are some games on Switch that run at 60 frames per second. F-Zero online runs at 60 frames per second. It just depends on the developer who makes the game. And if they make the game run at 60 frames per second, then that's basically the options. The console's job is to handle, right, and to have enough power to do it. And it's up to the developer whether they want to use that power or not. So if a game comes out and they want to make that game run at 60 frames per second, then they have to develop the game to run at 60 frames per second. So my guess is if the Switch can do it, then the Nintendo Switch 2 will do it as well. So I might ask for a Switch OLED for Christmas. When the new Switch comes out, I'll be going to my local GameStop to trade in both Switch. That is super smart. I'm gonna highlight this comment right here. Highlight right here. Highlight of the comment of the day. Highlight right here. This is by Brony Pony Productions. And he said, I might ask for a Switch OLED for Christmas. When the new Switch comes out, I'll be going to my local GameStop to trade both of my Switch to get the new one. Buy only if backwards compatible. That is smart. That is incredibly smart. You see, so there is a way that you can still buy the Switch now at the end of its, not the end. We still have a year. You guys still have to March of 2025 to get a Switch, right? And because games are coming out up till then, right? So we spoke about this yesterday about what Shintaro Furukawa said, that the Switch will be supported up to the fiscal year ending in 2025, which is the next fiscal year coming up now. But yeah, if you have a Nintendo Switch, don't be afraid of buying a Switch now if you don't have one. There are so many games out there that are amazing, recommended, and you don't want to miss them. Like, for example, Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, all the Mario games, including Mario Wonder coming up. Right now, Paper Mario is coming out next year somewhere. So there are games coming out on the Switch still that are very, very good that I'm super excited about. So it's a cool thing, right? And then if you don't own a Switch OLED right now, or even a Switch, you can get it and then do what Brony is doing. He's basically taking it to GameStop when the game comes out, the Switch 2 comes out, and then trading in, which is very smart because I know GameStop at like towards the beginning of new systems, they have these really good specials where they'll give you up to an amount of money for your old system. So it's good to take advantage of those in order to trade up to the other one. So that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. And I like that comment. I like that idea. I might do that myself. I might trade in I might trade in stuff myself to get that going. So keeping my consoles too. Raw S is keeping my consoles. So yeah, if you have more than one, I would keep one just in case. I would keep one just in case. Just in case backwards compatibility is not a thing. You want to keep a Switch with you, but if you don't have one, listen, this is the best time to buy one. This is literally the best time to buy one. Why? Because we have so many sales and deals going on, and they won't last. They're only around for the holiday season, and then they'll go away. Like the Switch bundles, the Switch Lite, and there's 2 bundles for Switch Lites that have Animal Crossing on them, right? Animal Crossing comes with the game. Animal Crossing, one of the best games on Nintendo Switch. Top seller, by the way. Number 2 of all time Switch games sold. Then we have the Mario Kart bundle. That one is traditional. Nintendo has always had that one every single year. Expect it again. It's a Switch base model, which is still the same as OLED, but without the OLED screen. Base model with the Mario Kart game, which is an amazing bundle. You get a Mario Kart game off the back, the best Mario Kart ever made, the number 1 game on Nintendo Switch right now, which is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And then we have the other bundle, which is the Nintendo Switch OLED, that gives you the option of choosing 3 games, either 3 of the Mario games, which I think is Mario Bros, Super Mario Brothers U, Mario Odyssey, and I can't remember the next one. I know there's another Mario game you can choose, but it makes you choose between 3 Mario games, which is really, really cool. Off the bat, and then the consoles are regular price. They're not charging you extra for the game. The games are free, which is pretty cool. $59 game, you get it for free when you buy the console, which is great. And I think it's the best time to buy a console if you're buying it for somebody that doesn't have one, Christmas, birthday, whatever. I think that starting today, actually, every single console went on sale today, and now you can even buy. On Amazon, I saw a few consoles for $250, the OLED model, not $349. So you guys can keep an eye open on because consoles start to go down. I don't know why I see consoles going down price. The price from $349 to $299, and from $299 to $249 for the OLED model. So if you're looking for an OLED model, look at Amazon, look at Mercari, look at websites like eBay, because people start getting rid of their stuff, and sometimes their consoles are almost new or brand new. They just want to get rid of it to make money for sale for the holiday season. And so you can even buy yourself a Nintendo Switch, a used Nintendo Switch Lite for $120, okay, and also a used Nintendo Switch OLED for even less, $250, $200. And so there's so many ways. If you want to invest in the Switch, you can do it now. And I think the October towards December is like the best time to invest in that, and there are games coming now. There are games on the Switch already. They're fantastic. And there are Switch games coming out that that are great. You know, you guys know today Pokemon Detective Pikachu Returns has okay reviews. Haven't played it yet. I'm gonna try it out, but if you have, let me know in the comments if you did. But there is a great time. It's a great time to buy games, right? It's a great time to buy games. But when it comes to the Nintendo Switch 2 leak, that one, I need to find a word or let me know in the chat. Let's make something up. Let's make something up right now. Okay? Let's make something up right now. For credible leaks that sound realistic for you and me, we have to put them in something. I don't know what that something is called. Let me know in the chat what that something is called. For leaks that are way out there, that are ridiculous, and that are just nuts, we have to put those leaks in something else. What is that thing called? Let me know in the chat. We're going to come out with it right now live. Okay? So when you hear me in videos, say, oh, no, that's going to go in that bucket, or that's going to go here, then you guys know we made it up today. Okay? So let me know in the chat, where can we put the credible leaks in? What kind of bucket, what kind of thing do we put the credible leaks in? And then we'll come out with a name for the other crazier ones. Let me know in the chat. Come up with something. Let's see here. The Nintru box and the Ninotru box. Credible leak, the Odyssey files. Credible leak, the Odyssey files. All right, so give me more ideas. So far, we'll put the word box and we'll put the word Odyssey box. And then let's hear more ideas about this pile or the other. Let's see here. It says, Mike, I'm starting to feel like it's a lot less likely than the GCN will be on NSO, since they are remastering and remaking. Yeah, it's okay for them to remaster and remake a lot of games, but there are so many other games, the Twilight Zone files and the insane leaks. For the insane leaks, Twilight Zone files. Yeah, maybe we can do that. See here. What about the investors meeting that's coming out next month, along with the amiibos being restocked? Possibly next month. Could there be a Switch 2? Nope. Listen, the amiibo restock has to do with the holiday season. Amiibo restock has to do with the holiday season. Okay, I have a source who literally confirmed that. The amiibo restock has to do with the next the holiday season. Okay, we have Black Friday coming on. We have the holiday season coming up. We have Nintendo is selling all these consoles. All these consoles that are coming out now. Today we have 4 to 5. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Nintendo Switch consoles came out today. 5 of them. 5 of them came out today. Okay, 5 for the holiday season. 5. And there is no way that Nintendo will release 5 different types of Nintendo Switch bundles and editions, and then announce a Switch 2 the very next month. It doesn't make sense financially. It doesn't make sense for the shareholders. Shareholders already know there's something in the air. All they're looking forward to is a holiday season for the Switch, and for Nintendo to meet their demand when it comes to selling 15 million Switches in the year, right? In this fiscal year, ending in March of 2024. And so there will be no Switch 2 announcement this year. So I'm just giving you the facts. No Switch 2 announcement this year. This is not the Wii U era. When Nintendo announced that there will be a Switch coming out, there was no Wii sales going on. There were no Wii sales. The only reason Nintendo announced that there was a Switch coming now at the end of the year was to keep the shareholders happy, because shareholders were not happy. Stocks were plummeting, and Nintendo were only selling the classic edition of the NES and the classic edition of the NES. And by the way, they sold those editions to try to get some money, to try to recoup some money, because the Wii U was already a failure, unfortunately. And so for the holiday season, they had no sales, they had no hope. And so to keep shareholders happy, to keep fans happy, they went ahead and said, hey, we're launching a new system. This time, Nintendo doesn't have to do that. Nintendo right now, it's in its most successful console ever. Nintendo right now is on top of the hill. Not only is Nintendo on top of the hill when it comes to games, soft hardware, Nintendo Switch, but when it comes to software, also for the first time, the Nintendo Switch is the console that sold the most hardware, because handheld and consoles became one. There's no longer a GameCube in a 3D, or a Wii U in a 3DS. There's just one. So Nintendo right now is literally sitting back and just relaxing, because they don't need to. The shareholders are happy. They know what's coming. They know hints. Now, could there be mention of the Switch 2 in the fiscal meeting? Could there be mention? That's another story. Could there be could there be a code name? Which, by the way, the code name for that other that's another league apparently. The code name is NG. No duh, next generation. You know what I mean? I'm like, really? That's creative. And the Nintendo NG, Nintendo Next Generation Console, right? So that's the code name. That's that's another leak that was in that article we read earlier. But guys, I want to assure you, I am talking from experience. I'm talking from experience because I work for I work for a major company now, and I've worked for major companies when it comes to the marketing department, right? Their marketing department. My degree is in digital media, and it's also in marketing. So I've worked in sales, I worked in marketing, I worked not sales actually in retail, but sales corporate, right? And so I know how things work behind the scenes. The holiday season for Nintendo is set. It is set. It is set. Okay. And I know a lot of people have kind of unsubscribed just because I keep saying that. They want to hear that the Switch 2 is coming out this year, but I just want to be as realistic and as forward with you as possible. And I'm talking to you from a perspective of somebody who knows business and how business works. And so with that knowledge, I want to make sure that I set the right expectation for you, so that you're not deceived or you're not let down. So if you have a more realistic set of mind moving forward, then you'll be fine, right? You have an expectation that Nintendo is launching next year. The console is coming out next year, right? And so when you have that expectation, your heart is fine, your mind is fine. You can just relax and enjoy Nintendo today. What's happening today? Mario Wonder is coming out in a couple of weeks. What's happening today? Well, today Detective Pikachu is launching today. What's happening today? Sonic Superstars is launching on November 17th, which is the first Sonic adventure game that has that platformer feel that Sonic used to have back in the day, but even better now because it has multiplayer, it has battle mode, it has so many good elements that the Sonic franchise, is known for in the retro area. They're bringing it back in a beautiful modern way. That's what's happening today. And then with all of this happening today, November, Hogwarts Legacy is set for November as well on the Nintendo Switch, right? So there is a lot going on in the world of Nintendo today, and Nintendo already has the rest of the year, which, by the way, October, it's already October right now. November and December. That's it. You know, Nintendo already has their holiday lineup lined up. They have what they're gonna sell for the lineup, and then next year will be an exciting year because we'll hear and we'll see and we'll play the Nintendo Switch too. But I also want to set the right expectations. Amiibo restock has nothing to do with how Nintendo thinks about consoles. It has everything to do with restocking amiibos because they're a big seller, especially in the holiday season. A lot of kids want to collect amiibos, a lot of adults want to collect amiibos, and a lot of amiibos have been out for a while and they have been sold out for a long time, and people want to have their amiibos. And then what better present to put in your stocking under the tree than an amiibo, right? And that's what they are all about. The fiscal meaning is Nintendo basically again reassuring the reassuring their stockholders and shareholders of their plans, right? And maybe talking about the plans for 2024, right? For 2024. So if they always have a meeting in November, it's because they're going to talk about 2024. And of course they will be asked the question, is Nintendo working on a next gen? Is a next gen coming out? That question will always be asked. Nintendo will always have an answer, and the answer will most likely be the same, right? Because Nintendo doesn't want to do anything that will jeopardize their goals for now. Every company has a goal. Like for example, I have let's say I'm selling lemonade, and so I buy so much products to sell so much lemonade, and my goal by the end of the day is to sell maybe $100 worth of lemonade, right? That's my goal for the rest of the day. Why would halfway through the day, knowing that I'm already at $50, I'm getting to my goal, why would halfway through the way I start doing something different that's going to jeopardize my goal, the goal that I've already set? Nintendo's not going to do that. Nintendo is we as fans, we can speculate whatever we want, but it's not going to happen. Nintendo will never jeopardize their sales for the holiday season. And so yeah, there's a lot. There is a lot going on. Let's see here. Sonic 3, the Game Awards this year. Sonic 2, Game Awards. We do have the Game Awards. Yeah. What's up, Natu? What's up? Welcome. Let's see here. How come the Wii U has the browser? That's Nintendo. Nintendo added a browser to it. They added a browser to it. Hello, the holiday lineup is looking good, and I don't collect amiibos. The holiday lineup is looking great. You're right. Yeah, and I collect amiibos. I have a couple. I want to collect more. How come the Wii U? How come Wii U? Let's see here. Look, I'm going over the Odyssey Odd and Odyssey Good. Let's see here. What about amiibos? Amiibo covers, seen in the back covers. Okay, so there is Nintendo does this thing. Okay, for example, amiibos are something that are going to be around for a while, right? So amiibos are something that are going to be around for a while. What Nintendo's removal of the word Nintendo Switch or specifying what the amiibos are for mean is that they're updating their packaging now just to be ready for next year, because it's just an update on the packaging. It has nothing to do with it. It does have to do everything with the Switch 2 or with the next gen console, but it doesn't have it doesn't really tell you that a console is going to be out right now just because, or announced right now just because there's been an update in the packaging. It's just them getting ahead it's marketing, getting ahead of it to make sure that they continue forward with a uniform package that they will release from now on, right? Amiibos could be used just about everything, right? They might release a mobile game and where amiibos are compatible because this has NFC and it's compatible with amiibos and can get amiibo tapping on your phone. And so packaging on amiibos covers have nothing to do with it. They were removing the 3DS and the Wii U from it and the Wii because they're old systems, because they're no longer being supported. And so if you look at what Nintendo is doing with right now with the Wii U and with the 3DS, what's happening? Nintendo is removing things from the store. Nintendo is shutting down the store. Nintendo is shutting down the Wii U and 3DS, and the Wii has been shut down. And so what they're doing is because they are no longer promoting those consoles, they are removing it from the package because that's not what's current. And so because we're also in the transition period of one console to another, right? We're in that little wavy kind of part in the middle of two consoles. Then they are just preparing. It's better to have no consoles at all, knowing that they'll function with any console that has the amiibo feature, than Nintendo specifying what consoles they go on, right? And so it doesn't really doesn't give you any information about what's going to happen with Nintendo moving forward. They're just getting ready. They're just preparing. They're just updating their systems because it's like they're not selling any more NES games, so they can't have packaging that shows NES compatible with NES or Super Nintendo or GameCube. It's just them updating their packaging and removing consoles that they no longer support. And the Wii U is a console that eventually they will no longer support, and the Nintendo 3DS is a console that they will no longer support as well, which is sad news. But that's the way things go. I say the Nintendo Switch server, which won't happen for some time. Shutting down is worse. I agree with Nintendo. The Switch server shutting down, I don't think it'll ever happen because I think that the Switch and the next gen console are going to be working together in the same exact server, same system. Miyamoto said it himself that they are developing games starting with the Nintendo Switch in a way that it's easy to move games forward, right? And so with the Nintendo Switch, with the new system, with the new eShop, then I believe that is all going to move forward with us. And so I think that the Switch servers or Nintendo maintaining Switch games online will be a lot longer than the Wii U and the 3DS. I think it's going to be 15 years, like in the life of the cycle. Right now, I also believe that the next gen system will also be a longer system than the Switch. This one has been, when the Nintendo Switch 2 comes out, the Nintendo Switch would have been out for 8 years. I believe that Nintendo with the next gen system will reach around 10 years. And so yeah, with moving forward with newer technology, we'll get the Switch 2, but that won't be the first that'll be the first version of the Switch 2. 2 years later, Nintendo will release a newer version update of the Switch 2. 2 years later, Nintendo will release a newer update, or maybe even 3 years later or 4 years, wherever they decide to do those incremental upgrades or refreshes, so to expand and elongate the life of the Switch. Endblade, Zelda Wind Waker on Switch? Question marks. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say February. I'm gonna say February. because in February, that's when Nintendo is going to announce all the games that are coming out in the last fiscal year of the Switch is life. So, and I believe that all the games on Switch will be backwards compatible. So moving forward, we don't have to worry about that anymore. If Nintendo ports Wind Waker to the Switch and the Switch games are compatible with the Switch 2 or whatever they call it, then we won't have to worry about it anymore because, you know, the NS will definitely be around with the new system. Also, assuming that the new system will cost more and not everyone will be able to buy what without selling out. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Yoda. You're right. You are right. You are right. Shadow Drop, maybe. Yeah, I it could be. Could be Shadow Drop. Do you think they'll keep the Switch branding? Oh man, you're picking my brain. Ronnie, you're picking my brain because that's where I was going to go next. Guys, it will shock you what I believe. And I'm going to tell you right now what I believe will happen with the Switch branding. I believe Nintendo will drop the Switch branding. I believe the next gen system is not going to be called the Nintendo Switch. I think Nintendo's going to move on with another name. And it's not going to be the Nintendo Switch. You know, and believe it or not, it's a good move. It's a good move. Number one, because the Switch, although great, it is very marketable now because it's been around for 7 years. It took Nintendo 7 years to make that brand great, right? No, Virtual Boy. It's not gonna be Virtual Boy, but Nintendo's been around 6 to 7 years for that brand. So yeah, of course, we're used to calling it the Switch because we've been calling it the Switch for almost a decade now. As long as Nintendo maintains the same form factor, meaning dockable, handheld, removable controllers, attachable controllers, right? But better, just a better system, improved with backwards compatibility. Whatever Nintendo decides to call it, it's going to be a success. If Nintendo goes that route, wait. Let me rewind back. Not if they go at $499 a price, $500, or if they go digital and they go physical. Nintendo has no business doing the digital versus physical thing because it doesn't really apply to them that much. It's like a little cartridge they have to make. It's not discs like PlayStation and like Xbox and you know, it's just little small cartridges the size of an SD card that they can insert there. So they don't have to go digital versus physical. Nintendo can keep physical alive. They can afford to keep physical alive. They sell their games at $59 anyway. They make a profit on those games anyway. So I can see the games going up $10. That's a thing. But for them to go all digital, you know, and I do believe they are getting this. I think I'm alone in this island, but I feel like they're not gonna go with the Switch branding. I think they're gonna go different. They're gonna call it something different. Not the Nintendo Future, Nintendo Sun, Nintendo Watch It, Nintendo. No, not Nintendo VR because they don't want to make sure. Although the VR, there will be, I believe there will be an accessory, a VR accessory that will be added to the Switch. It's not going to be part of it. It's not going to be like you need it. It's going to be an accessory they'll sell on this. They'll promote on the side, and I think it'll probably be out later on. Later, it's not going to be called the Nintendo VR, Nintendo Space, maybe Nintendo Future, Nintendo something. I don't know, but it might not be called the Nintendo Switch. They won't lose. They won't lose if they change the name. You know, they have no risk to take because it's a console that's been successful. So if they keep the same form factor, they call it They can call it whatever they want as long as it's not the Switch. And they'll avoid confusion, right? They'll avoid confusion. And oh man, my God, there's so many people out there who are saying, but this time the Switch is very successful. It's the branding. They can't get rid of the branding. I'm like, I know, but they said the same thing about the Wii. The Wii was so successful. The Wii is so great. But what did the Nintendo do? They kept the Wii. They kept the Wii branding. And what did the Wii branding do? They confused people. They confused even me. I thought that was the Wii, and I thought that this thing. I thought that this thing here, this thing right there, I thought this was just an accessory that you bought separately. Like when they first announced it, I'm like, okay, I have the Wii, so I'll just get the pad. That's what I thought. And me, I'm in the world of gaming, right? And so if they confuse me, imagine how much people they confuse a lot of other people. I thought I could buy this by itself and just play with my Switch. But no, I didn't know it was a brand new system. It was like they never actually mentioned it. All I saw was Wii, and it says U. So I thought this was the U. I thought this was the U in Wii U. And that's what I thought. I thought this was the Wii. This is the U in Wii U. Now I'm like, I want to get that U thing. Me? No, not you. Me. You. Me. You. And that's how it happened. But that's why I believe that the Switch brand will leave. And although we love it a lot, that's pretty cool. I think that it's a good move for Nintendo to call it something different. And whatever they decide to call it, I'm pretty sure it's going to be very cool. Nintendo never comes out with bad names. They have a really good department. Gets paid a lot of money. What about GB, GBC, and GB? You mean Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance? I mean, it's just a Game Boy. The Game Boy, it's like saying Game Boy, it's like saying Nintendo. So when it comes to Game Boy, it was just the Game Boy. The Game Boy was the device. The name was the Color, the Advance, And again, those were other times. Those were different times. In the Game Boy era, gaming wasn't as it is now. Gaming wasn't a thing. When Game Boy was around, when Game Boy Color was around, there was no Sony, there was no PlayStation, there was no Xbox, there was Atari, there was Sega, and so they could do whatever they want and not confuse anybody. And then calling it the Game Boy Color, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, people knew that there was only one Game Boy, and this was and then of course when you see a Game Boy, which by the way, okay, so where's my Advance? Somewhere around. All right, so when you see a Game Boy like this one, that one, okay, this is the Game Boy. When you see the Game Boy like this one, and then you get the Game Boy Advanced, and you see that it doesn't look like this, it doesn't sound like this either, right? Is this on? No batteries? And no batteries in it. I need new batteries. But when you see the Game Boy like this one, and you see the Game Boy Advanced, they're not the same, right? I have my Game Boy Advance somewhere. Somewhere. Oh, I can give you. I can show you this one, right? So this is another Game Boy, right? It's also called the Game Boy, right here. Game Boy Advance SP, right? So when you look at these two Game Boys and pretend there's nothing else around it like this, there's literally nothing else around it like this. Game Gear, right? And this is the Game Boy Advance SP. You can see it right there. I don't know if you can see it, but this is the Game Boy Advance SP. Huh? Is it? Look at that. Hold up. I kind of lowered it. But check it out. Take a look. You see that? Game Boy Advance SP, right? These are two completely different consoles. You can tell them apart because one of them, first thing, the other one, one of them is color. What game is this? THQ. Wow. A Bug's Life. So I have a Bug's Life here on this game, which by the way, it's right there. So we can see it right there. The Bug's Life. But this is easy to tell apart. This is easy to tell apart. When you have a console that looks like this, right here, right? Look at the console, right? It looks like a Switch. I mean, like a Switch. It looks like a Wii, right? It looks like a Wii. And so the console wasn't that different. There was no difference between this console and the other one. This is bulkier. This is bulkier, right? And then in the commercial, they also showed the Wiimote with it, the Wiimote. So you say, okay, there is a Wiimote there. That looks like a Wii. And so the new thing that I see there is this. So you think Nintendo just released an accessory for the Wii that will make it possible for you to play in handheld mode and take it with you. And I was like, wow, that is awesome. That is fantastic. By the way, this is like a look at this box. There we go. Oh wait, I have games in here. Got a baseball game. Look at this. Games. What else do I have here? We got other games in there. This game is I don't know. It's called Radar Mission. It's another Game Boy game. And this one is called Tennis. They got tennis, and they also got what is this? Football. And NFL football on Game Boy. NFL football. So it was easier back in the day, guys. First thing, because there weren't that many gamers as there are now, right? There weren't that many gamers. Not everybody played games. And so when Nintendo announced the Game Boy Color, even the Game Boy Color was smaller looking. It was smaller, and it was a color, right? It came in colors. So even that was different from the actual Game Boy. The Game Boy Color is smaller than the Game Boy. It came in colors, and it was very different from the from does it fit? Cool, it fits. So yeah, this is by the way. Look at the box. This is the box for the Game Boy, and this is how it looks. If you were back in the day, and this box is mint condition, by the way. You can tell it has no like tears or anything. It's just, and on the side it has basically that kind of instruction, and it's pretty cool to read because all the promotional stuff that's written on it, it has to do with the 80s. It says here the basic set includes Game Boy and 4 AA batteries. Now you're playing with power. Nintendo. So basically, put that right there. And so it was a different time. It was a different time than it is now. When it comes to the Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance, and they look completely different. There's nothing from them that could convince you. And still, to this date, Nintendo calls the Game Boy and Game Boy Color the same generation Game Boy. Game Boy Color is like saying Switch OLED. So the Game Boy and the Game Boy Color were the same generation, same game, same cartridge, and Nintendo treated them like if it was the Nintendo Switch and the Switch OLED. Different screen, better resolution, more colors. And so it's different. It was just different, It was just different. And so that's why it worked. less competition. You know, it's on my bucket list to have a shout out on live stream and Blade. Shout out to M Blade, I guess. And look, I'll even highlight your comment. There you go. Bucket list fulfilled. Don't die now. Okay, we have a lot to live, M Blade. You have a lot to live. What's going on, Terry? What's up? We also have Mario Akuma 91. Is it possible that Street Fighter 6 will arrive on Switch 2? Yes, I believe so. I think it will be possible for Street Fighter 6. I think there was a leak regarding that. I didn't cover it, but I think there was a leak regarding that. Street Fighter 6 on Nintendo Switch 2. I think the Switch 2 will be powerful enough to handle Street Fighter 6. And the best thing about it is that you can play on handheld mode, right? You can take it wherever you want and play. So that is a cool thing for them to do. So yeah, those are the leaks, guys. Hopefully you guys like the leaks and stuff. And I showed you a little bit of that stuff back then. Let me make sure I didn't miss any other questions. If there was a red or blue cartridge, you could tell if it's Pokemon. Yeah, you're right. You are right. I could really see that baseball game. See here. Let's see here. You could tell Mike wants to play. Yeah, I do. I just can't see it, but I want to play it. It would be great if an ad on was created to attach the NS to play with a Nintendo game cartridge. That would be cool, right? That would be awesome if you had like a little attachment to play old games like from the Game Boy, 3DS. You're right. That would be awesome. If the Switch 2 comes out in September 2024, when they will announce it, I think it'll be announced in anytime after March. Like not in March, but April. Listen, April and forward is guys, I'm telling you, when April hits, April 1st, April Fool's Day, everybody hold on to your horses. Everybody put your seatbelts on because we're about to go in a roller coaster of a ride. It's gonna get crazy. It's gonna be awesome. From here, then we might even see leaks of the game itself, of the console itself, because by that point, the console would have been in mass production. I think it'll go in mass production starting the beginning of the year or towards the end of the year. I think that if Nintendo does talk anything about Nintendo Switch 2 to shareholders, maybe they gave them a code name or something, but I know mass production would start soon. And then next year, when April 1st hits, time to hold on, guys, because the roller coaster is about to leave. It's going to be crazy. And I can't wait. That gets me excited. You see, when you set your expectations to a certain point where you know things could really happen, right? It makes it exciting because first thing, you can enjoy the games that are coming up right now. I want to go to Target. I want to go to Target right now to see if I can find Mario Wonder and play it, right? I can't wait a week or 2 weeks for it to come out. I want to play it right now. And so when you set your expectations right, then there's nothing else to do but enjoy the ride, right? Enjoy the games that are coming. If you don't have a Switch, get the Switch and play. There's so many games. Guess what? The best part of buying a Switch right now is that you don't have to buy newer games. You can go on Mercari, you can go on eBay, you can go on. Don't go to Craigslist or don't go to any other website where you have to meet in person. Make sure you buy online. You know, buy used games, buy used cartridges. You don't have to spend that much money because the games have been out for a while. Therefore, you can actually buy multiple games at a cheaper price and then play them at your leisure. Right? That's the good thing about buying a Switch now. You don't have to spend that much money on it, and you don't even have to buy like a new one. You don't have to buy a new one. Let's see here. What is the best pork in the whole What is the best pork in the whole game for a 5-year? Have you played this, Mike? A park. You said park? What did I read pork? The best pork. Park. What park of what? What is the best park in the whole world for a 5-year? So you mean like a theme park? If it's a theme park, it's Disney, Animal Kingdom. Magic Kingdom. What is the best paw control game for a 5-year-old? Paw control game. Like a Paw Patrol, like the doggies. Paw Patrol is a good game. It's a good game. It's a good game. So, yep, that's it. And there you have it. That's the whole kit and caboodle and thingy. All right, my friends. We have been streaming for about an hour and 17 minutes. I don't want to keep the stream too long. Do me a favor, guys. Can you do me a favor? Can you do me a favor? Can you go over to today's video, leave a comment, leave a like, and watch at least half of it? Help me out with the channel, guys. You have the power in you to make this channel grow. I can put out the content, but you guys have the power to make it grow. Okay, you guys are my community. I love you guys, and I cherish you guys with everything I have, and I value you guys. And you guys have the power to make this channel grow. If you go over right now and you watch the video, it's a 5-minute video, and then you hit like and you leave a comment, then YouTube will see that, and they'll say the channel, the video has people responding to it, and so let's share with more people, because there's people responding to the video. That means that the video is keeping people on the video responding to it and interacting with it. So the more interaction a video has, the better it is for a channel. So that's the way if you want to support the Odyssey, if you want to support this journey, and that's the best way you can do it. When a video comes out, you don't have to watch the entire thing. You can even play it in the back, leave it playing in the background until it ends. Leave your like and your comment, even if it's an emoji, right? A heart emoji, whatever you want. And that's the best way that you can actually support the channel. So if you could do me that favor, I would really appreciate it. We have 31 people, 31 beautiful people watching now. How about we get 31 emojis in that latest video, and also leave your like, and you guys would be helping me like you don't know. For those of you who don't know my what's been happening, there's a video, a live stream. Go watch it. It's about my life health update, and that I can tell you everything that's going on behind the scenes when it comes to my health. And I want you to watch it if you want to, if you're interested in, and also gives you my goals, because I really want to become a full-time YouTuber here and spend more time with you guys and give you guys the best content possible. And I cannot do it without you. So I appreciate you guys with all that I am. You guys mean the world to me. And so, yeah, this is I'm gonna try to live stream like this, every so often earlier, so that I can get my friends also in the UK to join as well. And I appreciate you all for being here with me today. Before I let you go, I got 2 things I need to let you know. Number 1, never give up. And number 2, journey on. Oh no, the balloon. The balloon. It's the balloon. The balloon. The balloon. The tournament is for right now. It's not going on right now. For now, it's not on. For now, just because of what's going on. But I'll give you guys an update later on, okay? I'll give you guys an update. All right, guys, take care. Peace.